That's the only way I can do shrimp too, is fried.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at it. Shrimp also just grosses me out because of the whole poop vein thing.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to me.
Shrimp, lobster, all those crustaceans, they're basically bugs.
Yeah, it's just bugs.
Yeah,
They're water bugs.
Sea bugs.
Sea bugs.
They redid all this. Looks like a new road.
Yeah. I do love calamari. I think the Cotton Exchange had really good calamari.
Yeah. I don't remember. I looked at Crystal Bear Palace's menu again. I don't remember what they had as far as seafood goes.
Yeah, I have to look. I know Savannah is not. When I think Savannah, I don't really think seafood.
Yeah. Well, that's just because they ruined it.
Yeah.
Tourist thing.
The thing I hate most about Savannah is their audacity for what they charge for soul food. And I get it because you're preying on tourists that are coming to the South for the first time. They've never had authentic soul food, so they think, oh, this is going to be authentic, and it's not, and they can charge you an arm and a leg for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to eat at the Pink House, but I'm going to be real mad if it's not the best soul food I ever had.
Need to find, there's some place, because Gullah culture is really big in Hilton Head.
Yeah.
So probably if we could find something around that area that's away from everything, it might be good.
Because I'm always like, okay, you know what, let's just eat at the Pink House. Like, I don't care, I'll pay for our food, I just want to go. I've never been, I want to go.
Yeah.
But then I look at the menu and I'm like, oh, why is the chicken and mac and cheese $30?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes the same with barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, this is all poor people food. This is poor Southern people food.
Yep.
I think that is so fascinating too, that like slavery shaped not only black Southern people's diets, but just poor, like impoverished, poor people in the South's diets. Because our soul food is literally just, unfortunately, slave food.
Yeah.
It was all the scraps of stuff that the house didn't want, so they would throw it out. And I've also heard, I don't know how true this is, but I read something that a long, long time ago, that like hush puppies are called hush puppies because they would give them to the dogs.
To keep them from barking.
Yeah, whenever they would run away.
Yeah. Yep, I remember hearing that.
And hush puppies, if you think, like, that's the most poor food you can think of. It's just a ball of fried bread, basically, just dough. Why am I paying $30 for that? I saw a video of a girl talking about things that she's really liked about moving to Japan since she got there, and I was like, I gotta stop giving me signs to move to Japan because I'm gonna do it. All of like your dental work and stuff is free, like all that's covered.
Yeah.
It's very walkable. She's like, if I forget something at the store, I could just turn around and walk and go back and get it. Like, it's very convenient. Utilities are all included, as I stroke, all included in the price of, you know, your rent or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not even the language thing that's the issue, because if I move to like Tokyo, almost everything is also in English.
Yeah.
It's the food. I think that is the thing that would, because Katie was like, what are you going to eat if you go there? And I was like, I don't know.
I mean, you can only eat rice so much.
Yeah. I mean, no, they do have fast food places. They have McDonald's with burgers and stuff like that, but like,
I feel like those are not going to be what you're used to here, though.
It's not. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say it's better, which I could see because it's better quality stuff, but I would get tired of that fast.
Well, that's like the astrologer, one of the ones that I watched, she was in Portugal, and she was talking about how here, like she lives in Canada, but she said here she can't eat bread. She's been gluten free for decades.
Yeah.
But there, she said, because the bread is different and it's actually good. She said she can eat it there, the bread and the olive oil, and
Yeah.
she's just like, it's just amazing. And I've heard a lot of people say that, like here they can't eat carbs and stuff, and they go to Europe, like Italy and places like that.
Yeah, because I've always heard people be like, how do Italian people stay fit when all they eat is like pasta and
Yeah.
bread because it's better quality?
Yeah.
I mean, think about the French. They live on cigarettes and bread.
Mhm.
Like that's their diet: cigarettes and bread and black coffee.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're ever in the position where you can go and do like monthly Airbnbs,
Yeah.
you should try it.
I would really love for like my next big trip to be Japan,
Yeah.
but I gotta really sit down and figure out the cost of that.
Yeah, because you could go and do a month, and you can still work, and
Yeah.
it gives you time to explore places.
I watched this cool like short documentary video about, I can't remember the name of the project. It's some Israeli project, and I don't know if you ever saw them, but I didn't. I think it started in like 1901, and it was like these little blue boxes that they would pass around at like schools, and it was like you put coins in it, and you're supposed to raise money to like plant trees in Israel.
Oh no.
I've never seen. Maybe it's not a
No.
southern thing.
Yeah, we only did like UNICEF.
Yeah. But this was like a, probably in more Jewish populated communities it was a
Yeah.
thing. But it was like that. Like they would take the boxes to like schools or whatever, and then kids would put money in it, and it was supposed to be like, oh, help us plant trees in Israel. Like we're gonna grow trees. So the actual operation that was going on was, this was after they had like taken over a lot of Palestinian land and demolished it. They uprooted all of the native trees, so all the olive trees, uprooted all of them. You're gonna love this part. Guess what trees?
Pine trees?
They planted pine trees.
I was gonna say all they had to do is take some bales of pine straw over there and throw them down.
They destroyed everything and planted pine trees because the goal, because all of these Jewish people coming over are European, they wanted it to feel more like Europe. They didn't want it to feel like they were in the Middle East. They wanted them to feel like they're at home. I guess, girl. I don't know. So it wasn't just pine trees. It was a whole plethora of European trees. So they would plant. They got rid of all the olive trees, planted all these pine trees, and what happened was they would catch on fire because it was so hot. They're not supposed to grow there.
Yeah.
So they would end up like burning down these settlements that they built. But it still goes on to this day where they, it's like, oh, raise money, but it's actually very sinister and very evil because it's uprooting trees that already exist and replacing them with trees that are not native to the land and will catch on fire. And I was like, that's crazy. Like I would have never known that.
Yeah.
I would have just thought that was like, oh, they want to plant trees. No, girl, the trees are already there. They're uprooting them.
And supposedly when you get olives and all that, the olive oil from places where it's native, it is so much better.
Yeah, I would love to try olive oil from there. I know there's a bunch of companies because that's like their main export. Like that's the Palestinian thing is the olive tree.
That's expensive olive oil.
Yeah. But it's the point that I see a lot of people make of like Jewish people are always claiming this is our native land, this is our native land. That's not how a native treats their land.
Yeah.
They don't set it on fire and destroy it and bomb it. Like that's not. If you're native to that land, you have an appreciation for it.
Yeah. It's like Native Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't blowing stuff up and burning stuff down. Child, Russia is doing